Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked out American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. So for our weather into today, we've got risks in the Midwest and in Wyoming, mostly going to be in the Casper area and Milwaukee. I know we're seeing Denver and questions about that. Probably not Denver for today, mostly north of that, but hopefully we'll see something soon. I don't know, guys. We got risks again through the plains tomorrow, and that's going to be from Wisconsin into Texas, mostly through the Central Plains there. We're going to take a look at today and tomorrow's risk in a moment. And then, as usual, we're glancing into our tropical risks. We've got two disturbances moving their way through the Atlantic today. Could those intensify a little bit into our next named storm? We will see. But first, let's talk a little bit about our upcoming events here. So first of those is going to be the IRE, International Roofing Expo. That is at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada on August 10th through the 12th. So I think that's like next week now. Coming up pretty quick, so if you guys want a trip out to Vegas to talk some weather and some roofing, let's do it. Get out there to the Mandalay Bay Convention Center next week. And then after that, we are going to be at the IRE Trade Show demo, also at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, August 10th, so I guess that's during the same period of time there. So if you guys are already out for the IRE, come check us out at the Trade Show demo. And then finally, last but not least, the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. This is a very exciting event that we are putting on here at the Hale Palace, and it's actually going to be at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex in Norman, and that's coming up next month now, September 15th. So what we're going to do is be racing for charity. 100% of the proceeds from this event are going to Roofers in Recovery, so it's a great cause. Going to be a ton of fun. Get to race some really fast go-karts. You can also sign up to sponsor this event, so that is done through the Linktree link also provided in this video. So if you guys want to come out there and do that, make sure to get registered for the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. Now into yesterday, we had some interesting weather moving through the mountains, through Idaho, Montana, through Wyoming, but most noteworthy was definitely through North and South Dakota, as well as Minnesota here. We had a couple of hailers that moved through Nebraska, and those were some big time hail, but mostly through the rural areas. And then we had another cell that moved here through Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Ended up dropping some pretty large hail along with that as well. So we got some severe hail up to 3.5 inches with that. And that did stay just north of the city. And then mostly sub-severe through Minneapolis. We got a quarter report that was just a stray, but most of that was sub-severe through Minneapolis as well. So an exciting day for hail for August into yesterday. Not a ton, but we got some to talk about. And then into today, hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that going on. So through the western U.S., clear, sunny skies through the Central Plains, going to be hot and muggy as usual. And then into our risk area for today. So here is our Wyoming risk. Got those clouds and those storms starting to move through the area. Mostly just heavy rain showers, maybe a rumble of thunder here or there into this afternoon. And then as those move along and as we get that daytime heating, we're going to start to see those intensify a little bit. Could get some severe hail and wind along with it. And then over into our Midwest risk. Here is Wisconsin, Minnesota, Idaho, all the way into Michigan. That's where we're going to see our risk area for today. We could get some severe hail and wind moving along through there again as we get that daytime heating, getting ready to move through. And then for the most of us, again, muggy, humid. We're sitting in the 70s and 80s for most of the U.S. A little bit cooler along the West Coast. We're at 88 in Dallas. Similar here in the Hail Palace, up to 84 in Kansas City. So just again, hot and muggy. Let's check out those dew points here. Like I said, hot, muggy, sitting in the 70s and 80s through the eastern U.S., close to those temperatures for our dew points. And again, the closer those temperatures get to those dew point temperatures, the stickier it feels outside. So all those deep green values just mean that it's going to continue to be muggy weather for heading into our weekend. So that plays a lot into our instability, as we've talked about, that heat, that moisture, that all plays into how much we'll get those storms ascending into this afternoon. So up in through Minnesota all the way into Michigan, we've got a little bit of a cell of instability through Wisconsin here, and that is going to be around 3 p.m. that we start to get those moderate to high values. And then not a ton to talk about through Wyoming right now. We're kind of getting two different setups here. So through the Midwest, we're relying a lot on this instability. And then through the mountains here, we're relying on that nice cool air up at the top of the mountains to start to sink down. And all of that is going to stir up some storms into this afternoon. So we're not looking too much at Cape through Wyoming right now, but then through Wisconsin and Michigan, we're looking at that into this afternoon and evening. That is going to start to dissipate a little bit by 7 p.m., but we're going to start to ramp up a little bit to the south near our Chicago area. And then into the evening hours, all our storms are going to move off to the southeast, eat a little bit away at that instability into this afternoon. So we'll start to see that taper off a little bit. So based on that instability, what do we have for our max hail size here? I'm thinking mostly quarters for us. We could see an isolated ping pong, maybe even golf ball here or there into this evening. But again, mostly we're looking at moderate instability through our Midwest risk. Try saying that 10 times fast. And then we've also got a little bit of Cape, but mostly we're relying on lapse rates and that cool mountain air in our Wyoming risk into this afternoon. So not a ton of crazy instability to talk about for either risk area, so mostly quarters into today. What's that going to look like on radar here? Well, let's take a look. So into this afternoon, we're going to start to see those storms bubbling up by 5 p.m. just north of Milwaukee. Still some just generally loud thunderstorms through Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. These probably won't be severe at that point. We're watching these by 5 p.m. Those are going to start to sink southward and continue to develop just north of Milwaukee by 8 p.m. And then those are going to continue pushing off to the southeast through the afternoon and evening. Mostly wind with those, mostly sub-severe hail, but we could get a quarter or $0.50 here or there. And then into Wyoming, similar story. We've got 4 p.m. These storms are going to start to ramp up a little bit. We already see them going through the area into this afternoon. But by 4 p.m., we're going to start to see them get a little bit louder. Through Casper, we're going to see those start to form. And then as those push off to the east, we're starting to see them band up a little bit. And with that, you guys know we transition into a wind risk. So that's what we're looking at here by 9 p.m. as we start to see these messy clusters of storms pushing off to the east. Could continue to see some sub-severe hail, but mostly wind with those as they go. So that's what this looks like for you guys into this afternoon and evening for our hail forecast. We've got quarters to $0.50 through Wyoming and through the northern plains here, and then all the way from Iowa into the far western part of Michigan. So if you guys are in Casper, if you guys are in Rapid City, you guys could get some quarters to $0.50 into this afternoon and evening, as well as some gusty winds. And then if you guys are anywhere between La Crosse, Chicago, and Grand Rapids, Michigan area, that's where we could see our quarter to $0.50 size for you guys into this evening as well. Low ends across the board, probably mostly going to be a wind risk as well as sub-severe hail like we said before, but a risk nonetheless. And then for wind, it's going to be the same risk areas for you guys across the board. So if you guys are, again, Casper, Rapid City, and then into the Midwest. We could see some gusty winds with those messy storms as they push through your area. So same risk area for wind and hail into this afternoon. Then for tomorrow, kind of a different story. We could see some exciting weather through the Central Plains. Low end again, but we could see maybe some larger hail along with these storms that are expected to pop through the area. So this is what we look like by 7 a.m. So morning storms starting to push out of the way. And then as they go, as the evening goes forward, we're going to see these storms continue to kind of bubble up through the area all the way from Amarillo up into Wisconsin here. 5 p.m. we're starting to see those storms get a little angrier as they move through Kansas and into the southern part of Nebraska. And then we got an area of really high instability sitting here through Iowa, through Nebraska, and through the northern part of Kansas. So any storms that do stay isolated and move through that area have the potential to drop some large hail into tomorrow afternoon. And then as those continue through the evening and overnight hours, start to cluster up, start to form as a wind risk. So here's what that looks like for tomorrow's risk. So like I said, mostly through the Central Plains as well as up into the Wisconsin area. Largest hail sizes right now are going to be ping pong to golf ball just because we're not looking at a ton of storms moving through the area with the highest instability, but we could get a red swath in here possibly tomorrow if things start to look like they're going to move through that area. So if you guys are in Sioux Falls, again, chance for some larger hail tomorrow in the ping pong to golf ball size range, as well as La Crosse. And then if you guys are in Chicago, you guys are on the very outskirts of that risk. So if that storm can reach you in time, you could get some quarters to half dollars, as well as Des Moines, North Platte. Again, Wichita, same story as Chicago. You guys are on the far outskirts of that, but quarters to half dollars possible for you, as well as Amarillo. So that is our risk for the Central Plains into tomorrow evening. So still some quiet weather, starting to move into the fall, moving out of peak season. So we're not seeing any crazy risks recently. We could start to see something into tomorrow. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But for now, we're going to keep watching our Atlantic risks because we're moving fast into hurricane season. So we've got this tropical disturbance that's moving off the coast of Africa here. And with that, as it pushes eastward or westward, we're going to have a 30% chance of formation in the next 2 days, 60% in the next 5 days. So it's going to move over those nice warm Atlantic waters. They continue warming up as we move towards the US. So if it continues moving towards us, we get low wind shear, we get some moist air that we like to see for those hurricane developments. Conditions need to be right, but it's looking like they could be as that continues to push westward. So we're watching this one just coming off the coast of Africa here. And then we've got a second disturbance that's getting ready to hop into the San Juan area just north of the Windward Islands here. 0% in the next 2 days, not really expected it to do anything because it's not really in favorable conditions, but as it moves towards that Gulf Stream, those nice warm waters, we get a 20% chance of formation over the next 5 days. So not really worried too much about this one yet. Mostly interested in the one to its east. We could see that one start to develop a little bit faster than this one out to the west. So like I said, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're starting to move into that time of year where hurricanes become more prevalent. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. Here's what we're looking like for Atlantic, and this is what I'm going to leave you guys with. So like I said, those storms are both moving into more favorable conditions. This is water temperature that we got going on right now in the Atlantic, and they're over here where it starts to get a little cooler. We need 80 degrees for those hurricanes to start forming, and that's what we get once we start moving, again, just north of those Windward Islands where that first or the second disturbance is moving, and then 84 and into the low 80s all through the Western Atlantic. So we'll see what we can get out of those systems as they continue to move into that area. We're going to keep you guys updated. If you guys want to stay tuned to our forecasts, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you would rather at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our awesome website, hailtrace.com, for more details. And we will keep you guys updated on, as always, on our severe chances as well as our tropical chances. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.